But another thing, I think we can't write Man City off also. Because even though they had a not quite good form recently, because no KDB and stuff, but still they have like the most goals scored in the whole league, and they have the top scorer Haaland.
Hey guys, welcome back to What Are We? Today we are back with a brand new episode of Ball Talk, your one-stop center for all things football. So let's start. One of the recently explosive things that happened in football in terms of Man United is a new ownership, but not 100% full ownership. Jim Ratcliffe has bought 25% of shares in Man United. So how does this work? So the Glazers are still there, but in easy terms, they are no longer in charge of football.
Oh, okay.
So everything else, the commercial, everything else is Glazers. Football, buying and selling players, handing out contracts, salaries and all that stuff.
Which means you're gonna buy Mbappe lah then.
So, but they still hold 75%, but they don't really mix in the transfers and all.
Yeah, they are just like transfers, all of that, they won't be involved. So, a brief introduction about Jim Ratcliffe. He is I think one of British most richest men. He has been in the sports industry for quite some time.
Okay.
French football team Nice, he is the owner, and he's also has invested a lot in F1 race.
Oh.
So it's easy to say that
he's memang a sports guy.
Sports guy, yes.
Okay.
He has lots of interest in sports, unlike Glazers. So one of the funny things here is, so Jim Ratcliffe already signed, he's appointed his people and all that stuff. So the Glazers, what they've done is, they have told Jim Ratcliffe, your management should not point out any mistakes that we did.
Okay.
So there's like a contract there that whatever shit that we've done, you're not going to talk about it. Okay? Just sweep that under the carpet and just do your thing. So this shows how much stuff the Glazers have actually done. So let's just recap about Glazers. So do you have any idea on how Glazers actually got Man United?
I don't know, but since last time I know that MU players hate Glazer and always there's a Glazers outboard everywhere. So that's how I know.
So these people, basically, they did not have any money at all. They didn't have. So MU was sold for 600 to about 700 million pounds. They didn't have that money in their bank. Basically, what Glazers had was contacts. So there was this company called JP Morgan, and that's where our Ed Woodward, remember Ed Woodward? Ed Woodward was working in JP Morgan. JP Morgan is a investment banking company. So they will invest in your business and they will invest in different big ventures and so on. So kind of like a venture capitalist, but they are such a big brand. And Ed Woodward was working there. Glazers had good contact with him, and Glazers also, they are being businessmen, and they also had a good background in banking, so they had a good credit score. So basically what they did was, they went to JP Morgan, they said, here is Man United, one of the biggest football club in the world, it is for sale, you give me 600 million, I will buy that. So you are giving me a loan, 600 million, I'll buy the club, I'll pay you interest and I'll pay you your money back. So effectively, JP Morgan is getting interest and they are getting richer. This fella have got a club. Okay. So what Glazers did, they got the 600 million, they bought the club. Once they bought the club, what they did was, supposedly, if you are buying, let's say you have a company, you have ABC Sdn Bhd. You are buying a house. So if you are buying a house, that loan is coming under your name, right?
Correct.
It's your personal loan. So what Glazers did was, for example, they bought the house and they took the loan and they transferred the loan to ABC Sdn Bhd. So they are now loan free. So Glazers bought the club with 600 million loan, but when they arrived at the club, they took the loan and they put it under the club's name. So now whenever Glazers sell, they won't be responsible to pay the 600 million back. The club bears the debts now. That's why we have to pay hundreds of millions in interest every season. So basically we could have done that. If I had Ed Woodward in my contract, I could have done that. That's exactly what they did. So it's a good thing that they are no longer in charge of the footballing side.
Okay. So, but then we can't be trusting
Jim
Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
Because we saw what happened with Nice as well.
Yeah.
It's not a very good club right now. Under Jim Ratcliffe, it's not a very good club.
Mm-hmm.
Before Jim Ratcliffe, I think it is okay a bit. But
Yeah.
once Jim Ratcliffe took over the club, he sold a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
Then the club went downhill. They promised the fans they will be playing in the Champions League in about 2 or 3 seasons. But then till now, there's no Champions League
Yeah.
over for them.
But this guy is not involved in the coaching side already.
No,
Just buy and
no,
sell.
Just
That's all.
Right,
the owner.
yeah.
So he has appointed 2 guys. I think Dave Brailsford and another guy. I forgot his name. So they will be in charge of the buying, selling, and all that.
Ah.
But one of the guys, like a really top guy in like buying, selling kind of stuff, I think he was like the first guy that PSG brought in
Mhm.
to start their revolution.
Okay, yeah.
Then this guy took him to the knees,
Mm.
and he might be joining Man U soon.
Okay. So one of the first things that his team has done is salary reduction.
Okay.
So they are going to offload Jadon Sancho soon. He's on 350,000, but not playing at all. And
Actually,
then-
Man United have a lot of players with high wages,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Very, very high
See,
actually.
I've heard Jadon Sancho is gonna go back to
Dortmund on loan.
for loan.
loan till
Ah,
end
yeah,
of
yeah.
season,
Okay.
and then I think that's the end. After the loan,
But-
he's gonna go
But
back
there's
somewhere.
a rumors that's going on that
Mhm.
he might be playing the next game, which might be his last game with Man United this season.
Mm.
So just to show Dortmund like how capable he is to play and so on.
Alright, so moving on to more serious stuff, which is the Premier League table.
Mm-hmm.
So during Christmas, the table was something else.
Yeah,
Today there's something else. So
Normally during Christmas in Premier League tradition, those who top on the table or during Christmas will go on to win the league.
Okay.
There's only like I think twice when Man City beat the odds where they went to win the league without being top in Christmas.
Yeah, that time we went.
Yeah. I think and there's one season City was I think number 6 or something and then they went on winning streak. So-
that's usual.
So yeah, okay. This time we see Arsenal on top of the table and then just few games right after Christmas they went down.
So what do you think is Arsenal's problem? Why did they give this chance away? So it was first, 1 point clear obviously, first but still first, and now they're in fourth. So why do you think this happened?
They're very inconsistent. They play differently with big teams and then going on to smaller teams they kind of suffer a
I
lot.
kind of underestimated
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the last game was West Ham, right?
Yes.
So I think so they underestimate the West Ham lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because West Ham is actually good performing.
Yeah.
Under Moyes, they are like a consistent team. They were 6th during Christmas.
Yeah.
Currently they
And then
are
they beat you all also.
currently they are in 6th as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's the uniqueness about Premier League because the big games somehow like you can lose, you can win lah. But then the small games, the stadium is small, the fans are
Very
like,
unpredictable.
yeah, it's a hostile environment. Like when Leeds was there,
Yeah.
hostile environment. So I think Arsenal, that's their main problem. They underestimate the small teams
Mm-hmm.
because there's only big 6, but then there's 14 other small teams,
Yeah.
and you have to beat them to win the league.
And normally the 14 under small teams perform very good during the big 6.
Yes.
They have like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
special motivation. Okay, although we're in relegation zone, we are not relegated next season, right? They still want to beat the first team.
Correct. So okay, leaving Arsenal aside and all the other top 4 teams, who do you think out of City and Liverpool can win the title? Because the reason I asked only these 2 is because past 5-6 seasons they are the only one winning.
Yeah.
So out of Man City and Liverpool, who do you think?
Maybe there's chance to for Arsenal
Mhm.
and Aston Villa because Aston Villa is on second now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Correct.
I'd say these 2.
I think Aston Villa as well because if you remember like our first ball talk video, I've spoken about they have a way of playing. They have a style of playing and they have adapted to it very well. I know we have beaten them like recently and so on,
Yeah.
but still they have their momentum. They have a style of playing that most team in the Premier League doesn't have right now. Most team in the Premier League they are changing. They are
Yes.
like 2 games they are playing with one style, then another 2 games they are playing with a different style. But
Yeah.
Aston Villa they are consistent with their style. They have adapted to their style and so on. And I think Unai Emery is doing very well there. I think Arsenal lost a gem with him and so on.
True, definitely.
You-
So I say Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll go with Liverpool too because Liverpool are kind of consistent. Like they, especially during Anfield, they make sure they get their 3 points,
Yeah.
and they are mostly good at attacking this season. I think after this Salah will go for African Championship, African Cup.
Yeah.
So,
That's why he's bringing back all the loan players.
Yeah, so that will be a challenge for Liverpool, but because currently I think Salah was the top scorer now.
Yes, Salah is top scorer with Haaland.
Oh,
14
joint
goals.
top scorer, 14 goals.
Yes.
And top assists also, if I'm not mistaken.
8
Yeah.
goals, 8 assists.
Mainly those FPL players, you know. Like, and Salah was never a one season wonder. There's always a meme,
A reliable FPL
Ah.
player.
Yeah.
But I think somehow Liverpool will fluff it lah. Because you see, if you are in the top of the table, the mentality will be different.
Okay.
You have like the players will be like stressed about it. They like they have to be there and so on. Like manager will be stressing the players about it. Like we are in the first place. We have to play like a first place kind of team and so on.
Okay.
So players will get stressed about it and so on. So I think their performance might.
But
might be
I
a
think
blow and
that
so on.
is why they can do and Aston Villa can't, because what you were right about is where if you want to win the league, the mentality is different because it's not a one-off game. You got to win game after game after game, and Liverpool have done that before.
And I would say like why is it so? Because last game they've got the highest, they've broke the record, which is expected goals
7.2.
7.82,
Wow.
which is that's the highest lah. If you
Okay.
see the game, that the heat map of Salah is just on the right, is just purely red.
Is it the GOAT league man?
So something like that, which is last game they showed that they want to win the league, so they put the performance. I would say that.
But at the same time, like if you see last season and so on, when Liverpool lost a player, their performance tends to suffer and so on. When they lost Diaz, you see how they suffer. When they got back Diaz, you see how well they play and so on. So I think they have to change their mentality.
Yeah,
and so
that's
on.
why we got all this season. We got like I think 4 to 5 strikers for the substitute and all. And for Salah, as he said just now, he's going for F1, right? So what's that? Klopp called in Carvalho from Leipzig. So for substitute for him. And even anything happened, we got players to substitute. So don't worry.
But another thing, I think we can't write Man City off also. Because even though they had a not quite good form recently because no KDB and stuff, but still they have like the most goals scored in the whole league, and they have the top scorer Haaland. So it's just a matter of time when they make their comeback, the streak.
But
It's coming.
it's possible. They have done that because this is the time they go on like 25 game wins and then they win the league. But after winning the treble, which is the biggest achievement in football, and then they won something else the other day. Super Cup as well.
Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. All that they are winning.
Yeah.
Do you think they have the motivation to go win another league because they've done everything?
Because knowing Pep's mentality, if Pep goes a season without winning, then it's a humiliation for him. You get it? So he has to win something. So that is already set in the mindset, in the player's mindset, as he said. They won't feel stressed. They only feel stressed if they are not winning. So their mentality is totally different. So I feel if not the Premier League, there's some other. I think they're out in the Carabao. I think FA Cup they are still in, so they will try to win at least 2 or 3 trophies. It's very common thing for Man City.
And adding on with that, so they were a vacation actually without KDB. So
Yeah.
so he's back. So they're gonna put fire on the field.
Alright, so moving on. Let's get out of the Premier League for a bit. Let's go to Middle East.
Oh, okay.
Where the GOAT is playing, and Cristiano Ronaldo is the 2023 top scorer in football.
Okay.
He deserves it.
For club and country.
Club and country. 53 goals, was it? 53?
Yeah, 53
goals. So, what's your thoughts on this? Is it because Saudi League is not up to the standard, or?
I would say scoring that many goals in one year calendar is actually for 38 year old.
38.
It's actually too good.
Correct.
Okay, but to be scoring in Saudi League and in other place is kind of different. But there's a but. But CR has already proved himself in Premier League, in La Liga, in Serie A, in Champions League.
But if you see Saudi Pro League is not doing, he scored a lot of goals in Saudi Pro League, but there's Benzema also.
Yeah.
So he could have done that. But why?
Correct. That's a good
Because-
even Mitrovic is scoring a lot of goals there.
So I feel Saudi League goals shouldn't be counted, but it shouldn't be ignored also. Like he's scoring there. Okay. If you ignore that, maybe for his country also he scored goals. So I feel he's still relevant to bring that talk in. It just matter where you playing and you score goals. So you play in Liga Super. Also, if you score more goals, you deserve to be in a place talking in the international place. Because all these are like FIFA ranked league.
Yeah.
So it should be considered as a relevant goal.
Yeah.
But I feel like still the Saudi League is not to the level yet. Even though they are spending a lot of money, they're bringing in players and so on, like to compete and so on. But still, it's not
They are
up
far
to the
behind.
level yet. Because if you see the top clubs there, I think so. It's only like 3 or 4 clubs is the top club there, and there is not many import players there. They are using their local players and so on.
Yeah.
And we know their local player is not up to the level yet. They might be, but they are not now.
All of them are in
Yeah.
Al Hilal, right?
Yeah.
But just to add on to that, Saudi League in AFC,
Yeah.
they are the top league. I mean,
Yeah.
compared to Japan J League, K League, and other leagues. So in Asia, I think they won the AFC, so they represent in the Club World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Asia, they are the best. So consider scoring in one of the Asian best league is okay for me. To be honest, it's not like he's scoring in like I mentioned Liga Super or what.
Right.
So
Because there is another player who played in the French league, and then he's now playing in the American league, but he couldn't do this. He couldn't do this.
oh, I see where you're coming.
The supposed goat, but he couldn't do this, and the fake one did it. So I think it's a proud achievement.
But still, I just want to say that. First of all, I want to say I'm a Ronaldo guy. I'm not a Messi guy and so on. But still, MLS, their standard is.
Yeah.
I feel like their standard is higher than Saudi League right now. I feel like their standard is higher
Not
than
really, because MLS in the Club World Cup they went out in the early stages. I think they had their how to say their opponent among the Copa Suda Kambol, I think.
Okay.
It's the Marcelo's team won them.
it's the
So
yeah.
so comparatively they are not there yet performing in their continent.
But then still, I feel like their league is at a higher point than what Saudi League is now.
Okay.
Even though Saudi
Could
League is
be.
a big player and so on.
Okay, enough
Okay.
of beating him.
All right, let's move on. Let's move from Middle East and come back home
Okay.
to Asia. Asian Cup. Okay, so Asian Cup. Let's talk about, because you are a Asian Cup fan.
Okay, just a general info.
Yeah.
As like you all know Euro, Copa America.
Yep.
So Asian also have their own cup, inter-tournament cup.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's called the Asian Cup. And after 2007, this is the first time Malaysia qualified for an Asian Cup. And in their group, there's a total of 6 groups, A, B, C, D, E, F. So in their group, they have South Korea,
Okay.
they have Jordan, Bahrain, and Malaysia. So just a quick recap about the other teams. South Korea, as you all know, is a World Cup participant. They have Hun Min Song, and also Son has been released by Tottenham to go for the Asian Cup. And then the other 2 countries here, Bahrain and Jordan, they both are actually even higher in ranking compared to Malaysia. They are 86, 87. Malaysia is at 130 in the world ranking.
Wow.
So this opportunity is for Malaysia to up their ranking. So this tournament basically, as I mentioned, has 6 groups. So to proceed to the next round, which is round of 16.
Okay.
So actually,
first match, I won Korea. Because
no, our first match is against Jordan.
Okay.
Second match day is against Bahrain. Third match day is against Korea Republic.
Okay, Sun is gone.
So yeah.
Will they? is there like a home and away fixture?
No, it's like a World Cup tournament. They are all playing in Qatar. This Asian Cup is in Qatar. So the timings are quite odd. It's around 2 to 3 a.m. around that.
But I think the South Korea match is around 7:45 p.m. I think.
Yes, it's almost like the World Cup timing because it's in Qatar.
Alright, so that's happening in Qatar. Just a quick scenario. Let's say there is a home and away fixture, and South Korea comes to Bukit Jalil. Do you think they'll be able to cope with our fans?
I think
our atmosphere.
I think because they have been to World Cup, so I feel like they have a different mentality. They have seen worse.
Yeah.
But actually Malaysia has the advantage of ultras Malaysia. Actually, they are more like a
They've
Liverpool.
been to the World Cup.
Yeah.
They've not been to Bukit Jalil.
Yeah. Another thing I like to end is Malaysia's environment is almost like one of the top football clubs environment. We have like the thing that scares over fans. Yeah.
Even though if there's not too many people, but the sound
Yeah.
will be like very loud and sound.
That's right.
So Malaysia boleh lah.
Okay.
So to back to the Asian Cup.
Mhm.
So the chances of Malaysia going through is actually very very less because the remaining teams are very powerful. But as I mentioned, 6 groups and round of 16, which means each group they are confirmed first winners and runner up, and the third person also get a chance, but they have to play a playoff.
Okay.
So if Malaysia could beat at least one of Jordan or Bahrain, I feel they have a better chance to go into the at least for the playoff game. So the odds are very 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 low, but do watch Malaysian match at least support at least. Because we finally made it to the Asian Cup, and also we are in the World Cup qualifier and we are doing quite good. So there are slight chance to make it to the World Cup too, but very very low. But there is chances.
So the momentum is there, so we have to keep on going.
And if they win the Asian Cup, they automatically qualify for the World Cup. if. So that's all about Malaysia football.
So that means we are going to the World Cup, lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So to conclude this, the year just ended. So let's talk about quick fire round. Your best goal of 2023.
For me is Alexis McAllister.
Okay.
His goal against Fulham.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it because
You can see the clip if there's no copyright. Okay, yours.
Mine will be Jude Bellingham again in El Clasico.
Okay.
He scored one banger of a goal. Like that was unexpected. You expected in El Clasico to be a hit there and all right, and then some random new signing scores a long shot goal. That was really cool.
That's actually a good
Jude
signing.
Bellingham, very very good signing.
You're supposed to get it right.
Okay, so mine would be Alejandro Garnacho's bicycle kick against Everton. So that was a Rooney goal.
It's a carbon copy of Ronaldo's goal, right?
Yeah.
Rooney's goal with Ronaldo's celebration. It's perfect.
Perfect.
And yours?
Mine is Mertens against a team in Turkey. I can't even pronounce the team name, but it was like fantastic goal. He just like smacked it into the goal. It's like
Okay, we can put in.
That's how he scores.
Like how you do in futsal.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our latest episode of Ball Talk. Do give us a comment if you think we should talk about something else in the next episode. Like, subscribe, share this video to your friends, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye bye.